Welcome, everyone. Tonight we have Scott and Christina Green from Trading Post Pickers with us from Greenville, Tennessee. We're going to be talking about the exciting world of resale and all the advantages and disadvantages to it. Welcome, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Hey,
Hi.
good to see y'all.
Hi there.
Good
to
to see you.
Wonderful.
So, how's the weather in Tennessee?
Yes.
Better today.
Yeah,
It's
warmer.
cool. Great.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. I see Tammy shaking her head also.
It is. I'm
beautiful here.
agreeing with them. Yes.
It was beautiful here in Florida today. It was 75, so it's sunshiny.
Nice.
So we'll just rub it in for you.
I don't know.
Okay,
Well,
so
Scott and Christine, this is Tammy.
Hi,
Tammy,
Tammy.
Scott, and
Hi. Nice to meet you, Scott and Christina. I've heard wonderful things from Dwayne and Daryl about you all.
Don't believe
I
any
can't
of
wait to meet you in person. Oh, okay.
it.
Oh,
And we do
God.
follow you on Facebook as well as all your estate sales that you post, and that's very helpful.
Yes.
Oh, thank you all. You're very sweet. I appreciate that.
So that's wonderful.
I'm
So
happy
yeah,
to
in
see
case you guys
y'all.
don't know, Tammy is in charge of Northeast Tennessee estate sale treasures, where she lists all the weekly estate sales and what's going on with them and who's having what and all the secrets about that. So, and Scott and Christina, they are a YouTube channel called Trading Post Pickers that we'd like for you guys to like and subscribe to, because it's a wonderful little podcast they do there. And of course, Daryl and I, we're just flunkies.
wow.
I love it.
So, guys, let's just jump right into this and get going here. So, how long you guys been doing reselling with eBay and things?
I started around just before COVID, and I was in a car accident, so I couldn't do my job with FedEx anymore. So what I did was I used the word aloud, and that's the way I see it. She may not see it, but she allowed me to do it to try to make some extra money to come in. And I wanted to bust my butt to where we could survive off of eBay itself, so she could get away from her being in retail. She's been in retail forever, so
Yeah.
I wanted to let her enjoy it just as much as I did. So she's been in it for about a year and a half, 2 years now, about 2 years.
Over 2
Okay.
years, because we've been here for almost 2 years. So
Okay.
yeah.
So basically, resale has been a means for you guys to overcome a disability in your life.
Yes.
Yes. Great.
Almost
Great.
kind of like for both of us, because just before his car accident, I had blown my neck out at work. And so
Oh,
I
wow.
was out of work for 3 months as well. Some people get, matching tattoos or matching tattoos. We got matching scars on our necks. So I
I
still
got
have
one of those.
herniated discs. Yeah, you do. Oh, yeah.
And I have one too. So, hey. So, Tammy, you're left out here.
Yes, I am. I feel sorry for all of you because I have degenerative disc and scoliosis real bad, but I haven't had any
bless her.
surgeries. So
I wouldn't wish back pain on anybody.
No.
No,
Back or neck.
Never.
no.
never.
Mm.
Never.
So yeah, it's better that we both don't do really much physical work anymore, because who knows, I could blow out another disc or something and
Mhm.
wind up being in the same
Yes.
spot all over again. And
Right.
so now we do this and love every minute of
Great.
it.
That's why you started reselling, right? To get away from all those kind of jobs, right?
Yeah. It was a
To get away
means
from the
to supplement
FedEx and the
income.
retail.
It was a means to supplement the income.
Okay.
And she
Now-
was putting in a lot of hours as the store manager.
Yeah.
And I felt bad because I was basically taking days off and going to the flea market and yard sales and loving life. And she had to go punch a clock every day, and it just wasn't right.
Well, yeah, an imaginary clock, because when you're management, there's no time
Never.
clock, your salary, so you're there.
You're there, yes.
Exactly.
You're there, and someone calls out, you're still there,
Exactly.
and
And
Yeah.
you got to be there.
yeah,
right.
and it wasn't like big box retailer. I mean, it was wasn't like small box. It was more like Tuesday morning Bell's outlets, or up here they call them Burks or something like that. It wasn't like,
Yes.
you know, it was those types of retailers, and I liked them because they were more personable with your clients and stuff like that, and it was more streamlined. I didn't have such a big I think my brain. I'm
a
sorry.
big staff to take control of. It was a
Yeah,
smaller staff.
thank you. My staff. But at one point I did have a $4 million store. I did have 25 to 30 staff members. So I did have a lot of responsibility, a lot, you know, a high volume. But
Right.
yeah, so I could do both sides of the fence there.
Right. And that actually prepared you for reselling on eBay, didn't it?
It definitely gave her a head start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what things sell for. I know what to look for, what's gonna sell, what's not gonna sell.
Right.
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 So what is the difference that you all see between picking from items to resell from an estate sale versus a yard sale?
With an estate sale, I feel like it's better quality, and it's all condensed all into one building. But it might be a little bit higher cost compared to a yard sale. You may drive all day long and not find a whole lot, but if you do, you can get it at a cheaper price.
Right.
Yeah.
But you find your better quality stuff at estate sales.
I think so. Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially
For
in my
sure, yeah.
world.
Yeah.
With my silverware and housewares, pots, pans, better quality.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
So how many different platforms do you sell on?
Just eBay.
Oh, just eBay.
Yeah, we have so much stuff. Last year, we didn't know how to prepare for a winter for reselling because we moved up here from Florida. So we didn't really have a whole lot to get us through. This year, I think we overplanned because we still have half to 3/4 of a 6x10 enclosed trailer still full. So,
Oh, wow.
but we weren't going to get caught with our pants down this year like we did last year. So,
My pants weren't there.
so definitely a learning curve from Florida to here. And also the items from different locations change too, it seems like. Down in
Right.
Florida, I
Sure.
could score all day long compared to up here, it's more her realm.
Right.
This is
Well,
true.
also, we have so much stuff. I don't feel comfortable branching out to other platforms because I will forget. If something sells, I'll know. I tell myself I'm gonna delete it later, and I'll completely forget.
Right.
So we have so much stuff. We're just concentrating getting everything on eBay, and then later on we might branch out.
What platforms would you maybe sell on?
Well, there's Mercari, there's Etsy, there's Poshmark. There's a couple other minor ones out there. I do know our friends at Reseller Information Network. They have their own store now on district.net. It's called One Stop Shop. And they basically run it, and they have a bunch of people that come on their store and sell their items on their store. So we'll branch out to them as well.
Yeah, which we're signed up to list on there. He just has to figure out how and then let me know.
Okay.
And then I'll list on there.
And what was that
Did I
called
do-
again?
Okay.
It's district.net. And within district, you have your own storefront, and theirs is One Stop Shop.
Okay.
And if you want to sell through them, all you gotta do is apply, and they'll review it and they'll approve you. And they have different categories, just like eBay, to where you can list your items and sell on here as well.
I've never heard of that before.
It's the newest fad after whatnot.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Interesting. Cool.
Well, so that brings me to another question here. What are some items that you look for to sell when you go to estate sales in particular?
That's you.
Yeah, well, for me, my number one is silverware. My number
you're
two
the-
is dishware and like anything housewares. Yeah, Yeah, dishware, housewares. But silverware is number one. I think I have like over 5,000 pieces
Not listed.
not
Wow.
listed.
Wow.
We won't talk about how much she has listed.
Yeah, and then
Woo.
knives and utensils, probably about 300 to 500 knives, probably about 100 to 200 utensils. Yeah.
I prefer like the older vintage toys. And then recently I've gotten into die-cast model cars and slot cars. I'm really digging slot cars, but you can't really find those anywhere. But up here, it's very hard to find any of that. So I'm an anything seller. If I can find a good bargain on it, I'll get it.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I just saw for this week's sale with Heirloom Treasures, they have a whole bunch of looks like Matchbox cars. So you might look at my page and check that out. They'll be selling Friday and Saturday in Talbot, Tennessee. That might be something you might be interested in. There was a whole bunch, even one of the old Super Wheels garage or something for your
Oh, nice.
cars. So
Oh,
Yeah, I'll have to check that
Yeah.
out.
nice.
yeah, absolutely. So what you saying vintage toys, that makes me think, is that one of the hot items that's selling right now? Or what? What
Anytime
is some of the hot items selling?
anytime you can get like vintage toys, it is a hot item. Like the original He-Man, original Star Wars, Furbies sell good. Things like that, they sell really good. But for the most part, probably one of the hottest thing is this week she sold a lot of Fostoria glass.
Yeah.
She's listed them, and she's had 3 or
Wow.
4 different listings that sold
Okay.
within 48 hours.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because
Wow.
in the antique markets, the actual shops, Fostoria is dead as a door now. You can't give it away. And the fact that
Wow.
it's selling so good on eBay, it's amazing how it's coming back to life.
Yeah, I mean, I've sold the cream and
Yeah.
sugar set, the sherbet glasses, the
A huge
punch bowl with the base.
Wow.
Wine. Did I sell the wine glasses? The tumblers?
Wow.
No, I didn't sell the wine glasses. I just sent an offer on the wine glasses. But
And all that was basically free for us because we got invited to a private pick of a couple of brothers that were being evicted, and they had less than
Wow.
24 hours to vacate. So we went up there, and we didn't really know the prices of Fostoria when we went, so we didn't really offer them as much as we probably should have. It's probably our fault for not doing the research.
well, and plus we bought it with a mound of other things, and
Yeah.
I think we only paid with the whole bundle of everything. I think was $100.
Yeah, something like that.
And we already sold the
Wow.
plates of Fostoria a couple of months ago and made our money back on that, plus the trucks and cars and stuff that we've sold. So everything is just pure
Wow.
gravy right now.
And also, she did look some up while we were at the house, and the price of Fostoria wasn't there at the time.
Plus, I sold a sterling fork for $50 from that lot. So, I mean, we were way
Wow.
into the profit off of that one thing.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start hanging around
Yeah.
Christine more.
Really?
Hey,
Yeah.
this is
Maybe
one
it'll,
time
maybe it'll
procrastination
rev
paid
off. Yes.
Yeah.
Do what, Scott?
I was going to
This
say,
is
it
one
sounds
time
like Christina
procrastination
and
paid off.
Scott have the magic thumb. Oh, yeah. Well, then, okay. So how long do you all keep an item before you reduce the price on it to sell it?
Okay, on E
24 hours.
okay, so on eBay, there's a suggestion that there's an algorithm out there that you have to meet to stay active to where they can keep your listings out there. After 30
Okay.
days, each listing renews. And rumor has it, once it renews, if you don't change something in the listing, it kind of falls down on the list. So every 30 days, I end the listing, and then I sell similar on the listing, and I adjust the price at least 1 penny. So that way there's a change on the listing. And it also
Okay.
lets us know how long we've had the item. So if it's 6 cents less than what we know we start out at, we know we've had it for 6 months.
Oh,
That's
wow.
our markdown.
Okay, that's a good.
And then
That's interesting. That
there's
is-
also offers out there that we'll send offers all day long.
Yeah,
It's
I
just-
mean, if somebody starts watching something, usually we won't send an offer within the first 24 hours. But after that, we'll send an offer and
usually around 10% off.
Yeah.
somewhere.
between 5 and 10%. And,
Okay.
Oh,
because
okay.
the thing is, you just want to move your inventory. That's
Right.
that's
Right.
our whole thing is move the inventory.
Right.
We have
Right.
plenty of inventory to list. We have plenty of inventory already listed. Just move it. That's
Right.
It's
Just
a
move it, move it.
fine. It's a fine line between reselling and hoarding.
Okay. Okay.
True, true,
Yeah.
true.
Christina,
A fast nickel beats a slow dime.
That's true.
you could teach these thrift
Okay.
shops down here that information. Everything
know-
is donated. It's donated, but still they want more than retail price for it.
Yeah.
And they,
Mm.
yeah, it's crazy.
Well, everybody wants to maximize their dollars. And if they were to lower their price, would they still have enough inventory in the store to attract people? You got to do that, checks and balances there.
That's
well,
true.
also
That's true.
in my whole retail career, one of my favorite sayings, you can't sell air.
That's true.
So you got to
That
keep
is
your
true.
inventory boxes full.
Mhm.
So if you're constantly moving your inventory, you're constantly keeping those inventory boxes full. You can't sell air. So just keep it moving, keep it full, keep it going.
That's the same thing that
Okay.
happens in shops too. If you don't move your inventory
Right.
around, it goes stale and people don't
Yeah.
see it. But if you go in and just what we call fluff it and just move it
Yeah.
from left to right and dust it and
Mhm.
switch, your sales automatically go up.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah,
basically
you
the same thing
wanna-
we're doing there.
Right.
Because some people can't see above 4 feet. So sometimes you have to move the stuff higher than
Exactly.
low so some people can see.
Well, also too, you want to keep your racetrack, your fresh goods.
Right.
And you want to keep your fresh goods on the outside and start moving your discontinueds on the inside. So anyways, and then
Right.
your clearance will be your last aisle, basically.
Right.
And then, well, I
I
forgot
think
what else
it's
I was gonna say.
Miss Retailer coming out there. That's
Yeah, I
Retailer.
know.
Yeah, Scott, you guys will have a storefront for long.
Oh, no. we had
No,
enough of
not
that.
again. No,
We
we
had
did
one
that in
before.
Florida.
Not again.
And not again.
So
This went from a reselling podcast to a retail podcast.
No, I'll.
So guys, is there anything that you wouldn't buy?
Ooh.
eBay has a Vero list, which is no-nos to list. It's a huge long list. And if you go to eBay, you can just do a search on Vero. It's extremely long. There's Mary Kay you're not supposed to sell. A lot of people still sell it. I won't because it's not worth my time. It's to try to sell something and get suspended or something. But it's a huge list. Medical supplies, I won't sell because that's another no-no. And she's gotten on to me too many times about buying dirty things.
Yes, because I gotta clean everything, and I'm not cleaning.
I'm glad
They'll
you
pick up
clarified
something and
that.
be like, what about this? I'm like, too dirty.Ut it down.
Oh, Dwayne, my mind was wandering there too when he said dirty things. I thought, oh,
I'm glad you
where's this
clarified that,
going?
Christine.
No, like needs to be physically
Cute.
cleaned. It's
Okay.
dirty.
Okay.
We need to,
okay.
Dwayne, make a note. We need to remember these guys, Tammy. They sell dirty things.
Dirty thing.
Oh.
So, how far would you travel for an estate sale as far as hours or miles?
It depends. If the pictures are posted and we see a lot of things that we like, there's no limit really. We got family in Florida, family in Kansas City, Missouri, and up in Kentucky. So if we see a really good one, we can always use it as an excuse to go visit family. But for the most part, about an hour.
Would you ever ask your family to pick for you when you're not there?
No,
No,
no.
that's my
No.
family too.
I would ask another picker because, as a matter of fact, we know someone that's up around Cincinnati, Max, fast talking flipper that was at a estate sale, and there was a whole huge box of silverware for $4. So
Oh,
I asked him to go ahead and pick it up for her, and we'll get it when we meet up with him again.
Yep. So I have silverware
Okay.
in Cincinnati right now for me.
We have to
Wow.
call you the Silver Queen.
Hey.
Yes, that's my nickname, the silverware queen.
And that kind of
There
leads
you go.
into it that there's more than enough for everybody out there.
True.
And in this case, like she's got a cousin in New Jersey that's I don't know if he's already
Well,
moved or not, but he's trying to downsize. We couldn't go there to help go through and see what we wanted to resell. So we reached out to like 5 or 6 other YouTube resellers and asked them to see if they wanted to go and pick themselves, because why should we just turn it down and not tell anybody when there's opportunity for somebody else to benefit from it?
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
So you've been in the industry for about, what'd you say, 4 years?
About that, yeah.
Have you seen the trends change in 4 years as far as what's selling and prices things are selling for?
Yeah, kind of a little bit. There's increase of prices with like fads. Anytime a new movie comes out that's related to something, it'll spike a little bit, but then it'll nosedive. Pricing on shipping through eBay's definitely increased. But for the most part, on eBay itself, it's kind of holding steady. Thrift stores, yeah, there's been a spike.
Well, I heard there was a huge spike in Barbie over the summer. Did you all capitalize on the Barbie movement?
When we were at the 127 sale, this lady was asking astronomical prices for Barbies.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
one lady.
It was soon
Yeah.
after the Barbie movie came out, and it was ridiculous how much she was asking for it.
And the clothes too.
Yeah.
She just the clothing
Oh,
alone.
yeah. Yeah.
But that's her
Yeah, the
prerogative.
clothing, you
She
can
asked
get
for
more
what she
than you
wants.
can some of the dolls.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so have you seen the economy affect the reselling industry any? Has it helped it or hurt it?
Both. During COVID, there was a lot of necessities that was being purchased through eBay because you couldn't get out as much to go buy your own necessities. And it kind of tailored off on other items. Since I actually think COVID was actually beneficial overall, because it taught the generation that was scared to get on the internet and scared to put their credit card on the internet to purchase things. It taught them it was a new way of life for them. So now it's opened those avenues up to where they were exposed to it because they were forced into it, to where now it's kind of a go-to for them now.
Yeah.
So
people
in a
buy
way,
more.
I think it's opened up more avenues for people who were reluctant to use it before.
People buy more on eBay now than they ever did
Yeah, I think
before.
so.
I can
Because
see
a
that.
lot of people thought it was just auctions. They didn't even know about the buy it now. They didn't.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
thought it was just,
Mhm.
oh well, it's just auction stuff. It's just this that.
Yeah. You know, in the estate sale world, we get a lot of people who refer to estate sales as auctions. When are you going to have the auction? When you have the
Yeah.
auction? Or we'll have people come up and say, is the whole house open? Can we go through? So the people really need to be educated on what reselling is and how to go out and buy stuff, because
Yep.
they're not used to buying estate sales and auctions and eBay and things. So I think you're right. I think it has helped them to venture out and be able to do more things. So I really do. So,
Absolutely. No, so what is the most interesting item that you all have ever sold?
Well, that's a good question.
That's you. The first one was more her, but kind of mutual, I guess. She found 39 pieces of Cutco flatware at the thrift store for 25 cents a piece.
Would you call that interest? That's just silverware. That's not really interesting.
It's interesting as far as the money goes. But we had them
I
for less
knew
than
it had
48 hours. And that $8.25 turned into $1,000.
I give up with these guys. The answer to everything
Wow.
is silverware. Silverware.
Well,
Silverware.
That's
We
why
love
would say
silverware.
That's not interesting.
Oh. What's he got there?
Well, so
Uh-oh.
the most interesting item would be a space shuttle trophy. We got the trophy from
Oh,
a good friend of mine. Her sister passed away, and just before her sister passed away, her brother-in-law, the sister's husband, passed away, and he used to work for NASA in Florida, and he got this one trophy, and it was the space shuttle, and it was probably about this big, and was it like a pewter?
It was like pewter or brass or something.
Yeah, and it was real nice, real heavy. And this is one similar. This is an acrylic one, and we have quite a few of these. This is the acrylic one, but the
wow.
space shuttle on this one
That's
is
beautiful.
exactly how the other one was, but it didn't have the acrylic, and it was huge. So
Like a 3D image.
right. Yeah, it was an
Okay.
actual 3D
Space shuttle.
space shuttle.
Oh, that's awesome.
That sold for $700. Now
Wow.
he's got the story on it.
Wow.
We had another one of these acrylic ones that was listed on eBay that was a little bit bigger, and it was months later that this gentleman sent me a message saying that the awards that we had, he actually worked with the gentleman that had his name on the trophies.
Yeah,
And-
the space shuttle one.
Yeah, and he said that there was only a handful of people that actually received that award, that you had to actually be in the control room.
25 of there was only 25 made ever.
Wow.
And he said you had to be in the control room at the
Wow.
time of a certain launch in order to have received that award. So we thought it was rare, but we didn't realize it was one of 25.
Yeah, otherwise we could have gotten a lot more
Wow.
out of it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be
that
the
was
coolest thing
exciting.
we've ever sold. And these we do have, I
So,
think, one more listed and this one.
Oh, cool. Those are very nice.
okay.
So are those items
And
online now?
what do you have that listed for?
This one's not listed yet because it's broken.
Oh.
We're keeping the
gotta put the base.
we're keeping the demand a little higher on it by listing one at a time. We don't want to make it
Okay.
list more than one and show that there's more than one out there to keep the price down.
Okay.
We want to keep them as rare as possible.
And I think the other one is a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I think it's listed for $350.
I thought it was 2.
Might be $200. I don't know, somewhere in there.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
So,
Very.
mhm.
I think-
And I've heard you all talk about you sold silverware for $1,000. Is that the most you've made from one item selling?
I think so.
Well, the silverware was actually a group of Cutco. It was 39 pieces, but it was one cell.
Okay.
The one item was that trophy, of course, of $700. But I did actually sell a original Star Wars figure of Yoda for $275. He was a
Those are
little
all
rare.
very impressive. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. I don't resell, so I'm very interested, very impressed with all this.
Don't get us wrong. There's a lot of $10 and $15 items in there, a lot. But
Yeah.
you've been in it long enough, and you'll have some good sales.
Right.
Let me finish Tammy's
Okay.
question. She don't resell this week, but the more she thinks about this, she'll be out there, bringing stuff in, not letting her husband see it, just sneaking it in the house,
Well,
She'll be done.
silverware takes
Right.
up very little,
A little footprint.
little footprint, very little inventory space.
You got me wanting to buy silverware now.
Silverware should take up a little bit of space, but when you have 8,000 pieces, it's not so little space.
Yeah.
You
And
need a new building just for
and-
silverware.
So
Yeah.
after this
Yes.
video, Tammy will be wanting to see a how-to sell on eBay video.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I definitely need that. But before we move on, I want to ask about all these silverware. Are they already matched, Christina, or do you have to sit down and look at the names or look at the designs and match it all up? What's the process?
I sit down and have to match it all up. Usually, a
Oh,
lot of times I
Oh,
will
Lordy.
buy the cases worth where it's still in the box and the case and all that, and so I can get lucky that way. But sometimes you'll just buy a bag of mixed silverware, and then I have stuff like this.
Oh my!
I just
Oh,
brought one
Lordy.
out. This is forks. These are just leftover forks. Like this one right here, I can tell you is Astro. And this will sell really well. I already sold.
Oh, I've had that
Wow.
before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these will
I've had
sell,
the
I think
Astro.
it's like a $19.99, between $16.99 and $19.99 for the five piece place setting. But I only have
Okay.
the fork left. But after you match them up or whatever, and then I just have this left over, and then as I get more, I'll separate them and sort them, and then like I don't know, I just have my own little routine. I'm sure everybody will have their own routine, but when you have 6,000 pieces or whatever, you just get your
I
thing
think
done.
Tammy's just had her first big wow moment for the night. She's just
I
totally stunned over the
had,
silverware.
Yes, Christina is the silverware queen. That makes me like cringe and have anxiety right
Oh.
there. Now,
No, I love it.
Christina,
Like,
what if? Yeah, I was gonna say, what if I picked up silverware and I did not know, couldn't see the name, didn't know what it is? Is there a way to identify these?
yep, you go to replacements.com and you can just
Okay.
take a picture and then use that to filter through and find the match, and then that just tells you. And then you take
Does
that
that give-
information that you find, go to eBay, and then you do your comps.
It usually tells
So
you
will
the
that give
maker
you-
and the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Does that give you a value of
Okay.
it?
It'll give you the value that they sell it for, but you
Is it
just
like for
take
China?
yeah,
really
it'll
high
tell
like
you
they're trying to-
China, it'll tell you silver, it'll tell you dishware, collectibles.
Wow.
But just because they have a price on something doesn't mean it's going to go for that.
Yeah.
You got to look at what somebody's willing to pay for it.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay, cool.
There
There
it
you go.
is.
That's
There
very
it is.
informative. Yes.
And then
Very
once
good.
you say I hit that little camera,
Uh-huh.
there's your 4 options.
It's not going to come in because it's so bright.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
well, I'm
okay.
gonna turn down the brightness, maybe. Well, anyways,
I
it
know
gives
one
you
thing.
4 options:
Yeah.
China dinnerware, crystal glassware, silver flatware, and collectibles. You can search by picture
Wow.
any of those items.
Well, I know one thing,
Now, it's free
Christina.
for now, but I'm sure eventually they might wind up charging because
Everybody does.
everyone's going to be using
Christina.
it. So,
Using it.
yeah.
I know one thing, Christina.
What?
Next time we have a family get together or picnic, I know who's bringing the silverware.
Well, it's funny because my daughter is deployed right now down around the border, and they're not provided with a whole lot of utensils or anything like that. They're staying in a hotel room. So one of the things that she said that they were short on was silverware. So we have plenty of it. So we packaged some up and sent it down to her.
Great.
Oh, good.
Wonderful.
That's wonderful.
And Tammy, do you know what the secret to success is as far as sorting silverware?
Oh,
Ooh, no, what?
Sit
Beer.
in the floor with beer.
You know, like on the
Oh, really?
what,
Okay.
commercial where
my
it
God.
dangles the dollar bill in front of the guy. I dangle a beer in front of her.
And then I'm good for hours.
Whatever it takes, Scott. Whatever it takes.
Yep.
I love
I
it.
thought you was gonna say
Okay.
sitting in the floor, turning a good movie on the
Yes.
TV or something, and just
Well,
watching it
the
while you're
crazy
looking
thing
through it.
is she might sell a $50 fork, but she'll
Yeah.
drink $50 worth of beer.
Oh my.
You mean $50
Is
for?
it really bad here?
Okay, you really meant $50 for a lot of forks, right? A grouping of forks,
No, one
Wow.
fork she sold for 50.
one fork.
One fork.
Wow, wow.
You sold one not too
Unbelievable.
long ago for 75, didn't you?
Yeah, I've also sold one fork for 70 something, I think. I've actually sold
What
one
was the
fork
name
that
on
was stainless stainless. I've sold a stainless fork for $50 as well.
Wow.
So it's
It
not just
wouldn't even
sterling.
cost. It wouldn't even cost that much on replacements, would it?
Mm-mm.
I guess.
What was
Something
that
to
one?
think
Southern
about.
Living? Yeah, I don't know. I think it was Southern Living.
And now
a
these
real rare.
the silverware you're selling. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the silverware you're selling. It's not vintage, is it?
Some is, some isn't. Most of the higher dollar ones
Okay.
are vintage.
Okay, cool.
And a lot of
Most of the high dollar
is Oneida,
Mhm.
WM Rogers, International
Interesting.
Sterling.
Mm.
What's the others?
International Silver.
Or International Silver, not Sterling. International Silver.
Mhm.
So your
I
highest
learned by
priced
default.
items are, your highest priced items are sterling silver, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Right. Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting.
Okay. It is.
Okay.
I'm going to add one comment to that. I know I jumped out of turn here. Tammy was getting ready to, or Dwayne was getting ready to ask something, but the silverware you were mentioning, and you may have known this, but if not, it's a trivia. Rogers Brothers had two different companies, which you probably knew. And then they also bought International Silver at one point. And they were also affiliated and went in halves with a company with an English company. And I totally forgot the name of that company. Do you know what the English company was?
Is it Edwards and Holmes and
No.
Edwards?
But
Rogers Brothers?
it seemed like all of those silver-plated companies ended up coming into one because Rogers was acquiring everything back in the day.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's
I mean-
Rogers and Roberts, which is
Yeah.
still the
Well-
same,
And William Rogers,
right? And then you
And
got
Rogers
the
and
Rogers
Brothers.
brothers.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
it's.
yeah,
I was so
no matter-
confused when I started learning about that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you see Rogers or Roberts, it's still the same. It doesn't matter. It's still the same.
And she's all
And do-
self-taught probably in the last 9 months just on silverware.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's when she really started getting into it.
Yeah.
Dwayne,
That's
sorry
great.
I interrupted you.
Wow.
Oh, I
Dwayne was
was
getting ready to ask you something.
Yeah. No,
no.
Oh.
I think Tammy was. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, yeah, this is all interesting. But do you all find your best deals at estate sales or garage sales?
That's you.
As far as our max profit, when we find things at garage sales and yard sales, probably that. But we can find more things more consistent at an estate sale. It's just our return of investment is not quite as high from a estate sale than a yard sale.
Right.
Right.
But if the quality is better, you could get a better price, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Pretty cool.
Okay, I know that back in our days when we did a lot of estate sales, I had to run a lot of people out of dumpsters. Okay, so my next question would be: have you guys ever dumpster dived for anything?
We've never really had to resort to that yet.
There is no yet for me. I will not.
Because we've been so fortunate on the things that we find. There was a time I did go in a dumpster, but it wasn't like a food and nasty kitchen trash.
No.
It was a hoarder's home that they had began throwing anything and everything in the house into this huge dumpster. And then I was invited to come over, and I noticed what they had in the house. And I decided to open up the side of the dumpster and go into the dumpster and see what else I could find.
Okay. I know most of the time when we have a dumpster on site, it's really not dirty as far as food and stuff. It's usually just a lot of items and a lot of broken glass and stuff like that. And that's normally why we run people out of the dumpsters, is we don't want them to get hurt or cut.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for that, we'd say go for it. You know, because
when I was working for FedEx, one of our routes was Melbourne Beach on the opposite side of you guys where you're at now. And on Thursdays was always trash day, which was always large item trash day as well. So we usually argued who got to do that route that day, because we called it treasure day, because we'd be going down the road in our FedEx truck. And if we saw something really nice on the side of the road, we'd throw it in the back of the FedEx truck and then drop it off at our house before we went back to the terminal.
Oh my God.
I think we've all done that.
Oh,
Yeah. You know, it was funny when he brought up dumpster diving. It wasn't dumpster diving, but out of thrift, we pulled up to a thrift store yesterday. And there was a box sitting on the ground in front of their dumpster where we parked. And I went over there and I looked in it, and there was some really good stuff. And my mind was going in circles like, okay, is it wrong to take this from a charity? And Dwayne said, Daryl, don't even think about it. Walk away. Just walk away.
It's funny, you say that, but don't be hesitant to look into the free pile at yard sales. She finds some pretty good stuff in the free piles.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 That's true.
Actually, yeah, I found. Yeah, I forgot what it was, but I sold something that I found for free for, was it $50 one time?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
30 or 50? I don't know. Yeah.
wow.
Can't remember what it
So-
was. Yeah.
We know that negotiations goes on all the time at estate sales and yard sales and garage sales. What's your best negotiating line, Scott?
I don't really negotiate a whole lot. At estate sales, one time I did with Jeff and Nelly, because I was basically out of money, and I was buying basically a whole wall full of model cars and diecast, but I still gave a fair price. But estate sales, I don't. It's everybody's prerogative what they want to ask for the item. I know the money's actually going back to the family as well, so either I like the price or I don't. I don't get mad if it's overpriced. I don't get frustrated. It's the company's responsibility to make the most money for the family. So how can you hate somebody for pricing as high as they can and getting the most out of it?
True.
At a yard sale, I very rarely, because we find good things anyway, but when I do negotiate, I'll just throw out a price and just say, this is the best I could do. If they don't like it, I'm like, okay, thank you. Or I do the turn around and walk away method. You give them a price and start walking away, and they usually call you back.
Yeah.
Right. I know we have a lot of people who actually try to negotiate, and they would just try to get lowball you as low as they could.
Yeah.
And my favorite response to that would be, this isn't Dollar Tree, it's down the street. And they would just look at you like, do what?
I'm willing to bet probably 50%, if not more, the customers that go to estate sales are resellers.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Just from what we saw in the industry, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Dwayne had another one when somebody was trying to Jew him down at a sale. If he knew them by name, he would take their hand and say, now, Bob, for example, now, Bob, look at this. You know it's worth a lot more than that. And then they would buy it every time. Every time. I don't know what it just did something in their mind, like, oh, I'm really being a cheapskate here. It's really worth a lot more than that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get mad even at yard sales. I have my prerogative that I could list whatever I want and put whatever price I want on it on eBay. So you should have the same right at your yard sale or estate sale to put whatever price you want on it.
Yeah.
Either
I mean-
you like it or you skip past it.
Yeah.
And when we did estate sales, we would try to price things like 30% below the fair market value. That way, it would give resellers a chance to buy it and make profit, and would give the common person a good buy. And
Yeah.
so when they would come in and try to do us even down lower, it was like, you want us to just give it to you? What do you want? So, and they would just walk away after that, or they'd buy it. So what you address?
Well, I guess to split your board right down the middle, Scott and Christine, because this question is each of you all separately, because from what I'm seeing, you both buy totally different types of things. Even though I did hear through the grapevine that Christine was starting to buy tools of all things. But okay, with that screen split,
Oh.
if you had the day to spend at a good auction or an estate sale, or going to a bunch of community yard sales, where would you spend your day for what you buy? Where would you go picking for that day? And why?
Is this
Don't
with
look at me. It's separate answers.
is this with the caveat of it having
she-
items that you like and it's like the equal number of places?
Sure.
Okay.
It's fair ground.
Yes, you first.
No, he asked us together. I'm still thinking.
I know
Good question.
I know estate sales are open later, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit and say I hit the yard sales very early, and then hit the estate sales. And auctions are usually in the evening, and then hit the auction that night. Is that a fair answer?
Not really, because Tammy could even tell you, people come to an estate sale, and many times they'll stay there 4 and 5 hours.
Mhm.
You've seen them, Tammy.
Oh yeah, I have. Yes,
Mine have
people
too,
love it. They want us. They keep shopping and hoping you'll give them good deals.
Just making that
Yeah,
pile
that's-
bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, I like
Honestly,
your
though, I think
answer,
I would
Scott.
prefer hitting a yard sale all day.
Yeah,
Different yard sales.
See, that's where I'm thinking
Oh,
I would
okay.
probably go to the community yard sales first.
She's copying you, Scott.
No, because
Be a
the-
leader, not a follower.
The estate
Let's go
sale-
riding together.
The estate sales, I can catch it on the last day and get the cheaper prices.
Well,
okay.
that's a
The
very
community
that's a
yard
good.
sales,
Yep.
I'd rather go there on the first day because it's the community. If you didn't put the word community in there, I'd probably say estate sale first, but you said community. So that's where you got me.
Well,
And then
we
the
did an-
auctions, I'd probably pass because I think that the community and then the estate sales, and then I would probably do the auctions either last or pass.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty fair. Pretty fair.
I get,
Well,
I get
however, we-
anxiety at auctions.
But we did an estate sale a couple of years ago in Bluff City, and we had over 30 sets of silverware.
Oh, she would have
you
just came in and bought them all and left. She wouldn't have been there all
Oh,
day.
you would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I spent hours matching up all those sets.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I
I
can
would've
believe
helped.
it.
Oh, where were you at, Tammy?
Yeah, no, that's not my thing. But Christina is the queen for that.
I would have loved it.
Well, speaking of clean,
See,
would you guys ever consider doing clean outs for estate sale companies?
If we had the space, for sure.
Yeah, I would, but we have no space right now. We're basically operating out of a 12 by 28 shed and a 6 by 10 enclosed trailer. The shed's pretty full with everything we got listed, and then
And the twin bedroom behind us that
silverware and common.
is my silverware room.
But we don't really have the
What's your
space.
silverware chest? Okay.
We don't really
Let
have
me-
the
let me-
space to bring it out and spread it out and go through it all. So it wouldn't be of much justice to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me go back to the other question for a second. Daryl and I was talking to another reseller earlier before we got on here, and that person told us that she loved going to like the thrift stores, charity stores, and things like that on the days of big estate sales, because everybody went to the estate sales and nobody was shopping the thrift stores, and she could get better bargains
Right.
at the thrift stores. So she would go to thrift stores instead of the estate sales.
Well, here in Greenville, you're not
I
going to
would-
get any deals at all because the thrift stores here, they're not reasonably priced.
I was gonna say she's not in this town.
But she's not.
we do have a church thrift store that's a little bit of a honey hole for her.
Oh yeah.
It's incredible as far as kitchenware goes.
Yeah, I'll get whole dishware sets for $5.
Didn't I see you find
Wow.
what? Not watching a video of you in that store, and you found a Cutco one day because you were sitting on the floor going through a box, a tote, and you hollered, "Cutco!"
That one was
Oh, that's the second one.
yeah, that was
That's
the
with
second
the
Oh.
one.
Goodwill.
Goodwill here, I don't think they're allowed to put knives on the shelves. So they throw all their knives in like a 25-gallon tote and they tape it all up
Oh wow!
and they sell the 25-gallon tote for $25. The last one we got was 85 pounds and
Wow.
we paid $25 for it. And right off the bat, we pulled 4 Cutco out of it and they're worth about 120. And we've already sold those.
Yeah, but I think he's talking about the.
Wow.
So we did that
It-
video, and then we
It looked
did
like a small
video-
store, a real
Yeah,
small
it was
store.
in the Goodwill, and then we brought the little tote out to the car,
Right.
and we went through it in the back of the car,
Yes,
and it had
that
the
was
4
it.
Cutco in it. Yeah, that was in Goodwill, in Elizabethton.
Wow.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We've been very, very fortunate when it comes to Cutco. Some people's never seen it. They've never seen it out in the wild. And we've been very, very fortunate. There's no complaints. If we don't see
No.
any more ever again, then we've got our fair share.
Oh yeah, we're
Will the eBay sales ever dry up on Cutco as people find it?
No, I don't think so.
always be
Because
buyers for it.
it's lifetime replacement, and the only way you can get it now is
Sure.
through eBay. And I don't even think they go door to door anymore. But that's the only way you could get it before was door to door.
Wow.
no,
I think they still sell it.
Okay.
Yeah, they still sell it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. My niece bought a big
Hmm.
set the other day.
yeah, you can still get it.
Yeah.
I think my
Wow.
massage therapist sold it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like $1,700 to $3,000
Yeah,
and plus.
Very
you know,
expensive.
Wow.
I mean, I think they start around $1,700.
Mhm. It's very
How
And
many
I
expensive.
think it's
sets you
hard to
got,
find
Tammy?
anyway. And that's why the price stays where it is, because nobody ever
Wow.
wants to get rid of it once they get it. So buying it used keeps the value up because there's not as much out there that's being sold used.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
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 Wow. Well, on a different note, Scott and Christina, what do you think makes a good reseller?
Ooh, that's a toughie.
There's not really anything. It all depends on how you see yourself. You don't have to sell thousands and thousands of dollars to be a good reseller. You don't have to, pay your bills with it. It's sell within your means. And I feel like that a good reseller is somebody who can make a profit off of something. You don't have to make the big money, and you don't have to sell thousands of dollars a week. I just
It's
think
true.
a good reseller is somebody that can turn a profit off of something that they buy.
Mhm. I agree with you.
Okay.
I
That's
agree
good.
with you.
That makes sense. Well, so what advice would you all give, like say me, somebody that's never resold anything? What advice would you give to me if I wanted to start selling?
Don't do it. No, I'm just joking.
No.
Okay.
No,
All right.
Oh.
it's extremely rewarding.
track
Yes.
whatever you're.
Make sure you keep an inventory system.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very liberating too, but stay within your means. And I would say if you're going to go out and get into it, make sure you go out and you purchase or source items that you enjoy, because if you don't enjoy it, you're going to be less often want to list it.
Well, first you have to find what's going to sell.
Yeah.
Then you can do what you enjoy. Find what you enjoy that sells.
Yeah.
But first you have to
Okay.
find what's selling that you can.
Because she has all these plates and stuff. And I don't enjoy it. So it's hard for me to grab these plates and stuff like that and list it. So make sure you find stuff that you
Right.
actually enjoy first, but stay within your means as far as your money that you're allocating.
Right. It's I don't know how to really say, like, I didn't know
Yes.
I was going to enjoy selling plates and silverware.
Yeah.
Right.
And also don't swing for the fences all for right
Oh
off the gate.
no, yeah,
You know,
no.
start off within your means, you know, whether it's $20 on your first purchase, $20 a week, whatever, and build it from there. And then eventually you'll be able to make the huge purchases,
Yeah.
which is more beneficial. But
And you have to build your feedback
yeah,
too.
on eBay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
That's
start
true.
with
Right.
unbreakable things as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good answer.
Ooh, yes. Now, how would I know what's kind of hot out there selling real good in eBay? Is there like a list maybe in eBay somewhere, or
Sometimes on
like
Google
this?
you can Google like the top items of 2023 or something like that. It's going to be a little skewed because all the money laundry that goes through with Beanie Bears. But
Oh,
for the most part, they'll
okay.
give you a list. But you want to look at your sell-through rate, which is how many items that are listed compared to how many sold. The closer you get 1-to-1, or if it's 1-to-5, that's really good. But if you have 100 items listed and 100 items sold, that's really good. So the higher the sell-through rate, the more
Okay.
chance of you selling it. So you know that you can spend $5 on this to make 20.
And also another way would to research YouTube resellers.
Yeah.
And see what they're selling.
Okay.
It's funny she says that because when she was still working and I was kind of laid up, she come home and I was
Okay.
sitting there watching all these YouTube resellers, and she was, hey babe, what are you doing? And my answer was research. I would watch their what sold videos and see what they sold and learned a lot from that because I could see what was actually being sold instead of having to try to do the research myself.
Yeah.
Well, I just did what you said, Scott.
Excellent.
Does anyone want to take a shot at what the best-selling item on eBay was for 2023?
The single item,
According to Google.
Women's clothes.
I would probably guess it's some kind of electronic.
Electronics has the top 3 spots. Number 1 was smartphones. Smartwatches. Number 2 was screen protectors and accessories to your phones. And number 3 was Bluetooth speakers.
Oh
And
wow.
then followed by
Wow.
clothes, hoodies, and different types of clothes. So that's
Wow.
interesting.
Every
And I haven't
category
sold-
has
and
its
I haven't
negative
sold
stuff.
hardly none of that.
Well, every category has its downsides too, because like electronics,
Yeah.
they might be the top sellers, but it's also the highest return rate as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Followed by
Ooh.
clothing, because a lot of people buy clothing and either have buyer's remorse or they don't like it or it doesn't fit right and then they return it.
True.
Or they wear it one time to a party and then
You-
send it back.
Yeah.
Wait a second. So you're saying if you buy clothing from eBay, you can return it? I always thought it was just like, you buy it, it's yours. You can return items?
So
Oh, yeah.
eBay has different categories. They have people who will accept returns, but the buyer has to pay for shipping. And then they have
Okay.
a category that's, or not category, sellers that are top rated plus, which offer free returns. And that's what we are. And it's because you pretty much have to. They have buyer protection. So at any given time, you can argue the fact that it wasn't what you ordered and go to eBay and continue the argument, and eBay will still give them their money back. So why go through the argument and hurt your profile over a $15 shirt? It's just the price of doing business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, all this talk
Yeah.
about YouTube and things led into the good segue to the next question here, which I'm going to kind of combine here. We introduced you guys as Trading Post pickers that means you must have a YouTube page or YouTube podcast. So you want to tell us about it and tell us
Bless you.
a little bit about your reselling business there.
Yeah, we're on most of the platforms. It's Trading Post Pickers on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And then on Instagram and YouTube as well, her ID is Mrs. Trading Post. So,
But I don't know how to use my Instagram yet.
but we try. I've been falling off a little bit, but on Tuesdays we tried to put our top 10 sales of the week, and then we put in one of our worst sales for the week, so you can see both sides of it. It's not always, biscuits and gravy up here. Sometimes
Right.
you got to eat a raw egg, but but and then on Fridays we try to do some kind of sourcing video, whether it's a thrift store, yard sale, an estate sale, or if we just happen to open up the trailer and have to source out of our own death pile.
Oh, good.
I got plenty in there.
And Tammy, they call it death piles because it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And a lot of times people don't get through it. Some people call it profit piles, but it's a death pile.
Okay.
In other words, you'll be dead before you get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be the death of me.
Yes.
Okay. Well, great. Wonderful. Well, guys, I'd recommend that you go to Trading Post Pickers and like and subscribe to their YouTube page there so you can catch all their wonderful finds and buys they get out there and sales they make. And also, while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe to Aaron Ready, Set, Estate Sell Facebook page so you can keep track of us. We thank you guys for joining us tonight. Anybody got any more questions for us?
Well, I'd like to say first off, as
No.
far as subscribing, it's free. And for what you three are doing right now
Yes.
for the estate sale business, you guys are doing it out of the kindness of your own heart. You're not making any money off of this at all. You're just helping everybody else out there. And that's very commendable on your part to be doing these videos to help benefit everybody else and not see a dime out of it. So we appreciate you guys.
Yes. Very
Well,
much.
thank you guys. We appreciate that.
Well, does that mean when you
Thank
get that
you.
invoice for appearing here, you're not going to pay it? Just kidding, guys. We really enjoyed you guys. But I really thought we were getting
Enjoy your
paid.
company. And it was so nice to meet Tammy.
Absolutely.
Oh, is she not wonderful?
She
She
is.
is.
She is. Can't wait
She
to meet her in
works-
person.
Well, she works so hard behind the scenes to keep us in
Oh,
line. I mean,
You all are so sweet. Pleasure. Thank you.
we'll be stuck on
It's-
something and she'll
it's a
say, "Oh my
pleasure to
God, there
meet-
you
to
go,
meet
making
you
me
both.
laugh again."
Well, guys, again, we thank you. And
Oh,
hopefully we can have you
we're
back
empty
soon. For
nesters
another round.
again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime, guys. We're up for it
Hey.
anytime.
I would love to have them
Awesome.
back.
Yeah, we
Anytime.
definitely will. Okay.
All
Well,
right.
thanks, guys.
Maybe we'll go picking with you and we'll just sit back and do some recording while you're picking.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
Sounds
be fun.
great.
Tammy, you want to give us a rundown on what's the estate sales this week?
There are this week that so far that I can tell on my list, there is the estate sales have come back this week because last week a lot of them had to be postponed because of the bad weather. So there are at least 9 or 10 estate sales. That does not count the 2 or 3 in-person auctions and the ongoing weekly Facebook live auctions. So this week coming up, we have sales in different cities. We've got Willow Creek, who will be having their sale that starts Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This is January 25th, 26th, and 27th, and it is at 408 Robin Road, Bristol, Tennessee. And then we also have the Hidden Treasures Virginia branch. This is Debbie and Doug Robinson, a sweet married couple that run this company, and they are having their sale Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Their hours are 10 to 3 on all those days. They're having a sale at 1151 Stone Brews. I don't know if that's a street, a drive. I don't know. It's called Stone Brews, all one word, Lebanon, Virginia. We've got Southern Bells. They're having a sale that's going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Their sale is at 133 Eagle View Private Drive, Bluntville, Tennessee. We also have Cassandra and Melissa, they're sisters. They run the Heirloom Treasures Estate Group, and their sale will be Friday and Saturday coming up in Talbot, Tennessee. I don't have any more information where they're located yet. We have the Estate Chicks that everybody loves, and all Kelly would tell me is tell people it's in Johnson City, and that will be Friday and Saturday, I believe, with Kelly's. We have Simply Quaint with Wendy Stout. Wendy's parents are Pat and Jerry. They own P&J Antiques downtown Kingsport. So Wendy used to do sales with her mom and dad, and now Wendy's branched out maybe about a year or so ago. Wendy has her own company called Simply Quaint, and Wendy will be having a sale Friday and Saturday. Her sale will be at 2116 Eastwood Avenue in Kingsport, and that is located right near where Scobie's used to be. For all of you Kingsport people that live in Kingsport that are familiar with Scobie's, that's where Wendy's sale will be close by. We also have a group called Trail Antiques and Estate Sale Services, and they're going to have a sale that will be going Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And their sale is at 17 Wyandotte Avenue West, Big Stone Gap, Virginia. And of course, Outland Estates will be having a sale Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it will be somewhere in Kingsport. But Saturday, they're also going to finish up with their half-day off sale from the sale they did the week before, and that will be at 6490 Chuckey Pike in Chuckey, Tennessee. And we also have a group that does sales. They're located more down in Knoxville. They do sales from the Knoxville area to Chattanooga and I guess kind of in between. And they're called Golden Girls Estate Sales. And they're going to have a sale Saturday and Sunday located in Chattanooga. And they have some beautiful items. All these groups that I've mentioned are in my group, my estate sale group called Northeast Tennessee Estate Sale Treasures. And you can find all these pictures and pictures of the auctions and everything. And I don't know about Nellie. I have looked at Nellie's page right before we came on, and Nellie still is not advertising. So I don't know if Nellie's sale will be this week or next week. But we love Nellie. And that's what I have so far.
Yes, we do.
It's a
We
lot.
definitely love Nellie.
Love Nellie.
Yeah. I know.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, on behalf of all of the estate sale companies, they love their resellers. So y'all keep supporting
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
them. Yes.
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
Okay. I think we've covered all the bases now. So let's wind this up and we'll see you all next week again. A surprise guest.
There you go.
Yes.
Surprise company.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll be back to the
Absolutely.
estate sales next week.
And it will be very different.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tabby. Thank you, Dwayne. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.